following segment is mass casualty incidents, when the body count is too high. What are the different types of mass casualty incidents? They can occur either through disasters or terrorist attacks. Disasters, we think of theft, an acronym: tornado, hurricane, earthquake, fire, and tsunami. Terrorist attack, we think in ABC, active threat event, a bomb threat, or chemical or biological agent. Our recent mass casualty events in history, with those that we can recall: September 9/11, the terrorist attacks against the World Trade Center, over 3,000 victims, over 3,000 people died. The tsunami in Indonesia in December of 2004, over 226,000 victims. And the earthquake in Haiti in January of 2010, over 230,000 victims. We see mass casualty incidents. From 1980 to 2005, terrorist attacks versus other events, the mass casualty incidents due to a terrorist attack are 60% of the mass casualties. The other were non-terrorist incidents. The method of these terrorist attacks were through bombs, which was over 60% also. The other 40% were other types of weapons. What is the danger behind each type of disaster? Tornado, we have flying debris, structural collapse or falls, and injuries that can be sustained. It could be head injury, fractures, lacerations, contusions, or open wounds. For a hurricane, there are strong winds, flooding rain, flying debris, structural collapse, and landslides. We have similar injuries: head injury, fractures, lacerations, contusions, drowning, or open wounds. For an earthquake, we have there structural collapse, falling debris, fires can also start, and the injuries would be a head injury, fracture, laceration, contusions, or open wounds. What do we say about floods? Well, it's a heavy rain, landslide, the loss of utilities, food, supplies, and water. And the way it can hurt us: the drowning, diseases, hunger, and the exposure. And finally, the tsunami, the sudden high tide at a great speed, flooding debris in the water. The drowning, trauma, head injury, laceration, fractures, and the exposure. The ever-present dangers. What is a mass fatality management? This is defined as fatalities that cannot be handled in a timely manner. They are the result of incidents that are human-made or natural disasters. It could be either an explosion, fire, flood, a pandemic, or a structural collapse. The way or what causes the event, it could be transportation-related, weather-related, weapons of mass destruction, a chemical weapon, or a biological weapon. How does VA work with mass fatality management? Well, they have the mitigation and preparation. The VA morgue can handle up to 12 bodies at one time. If they're not capable, or they have more than the amount that they can handle, they will count with the help of the U.S. Army Reserve. The VA morgue can store up to 30 bodies. If that's not enough, they will rent refrigerated containers. At this moment, VA has rented 2 refrigerated containers considering the pandemic that is going on worldwide. And finally, coordination with the external agencies for report. In the response procedures, the VA police will be in charge of documentation, including photography. The IDs and belongings to these victims will be collected, and the bodies will be placed in a body bag, labeled, and stored. For the recovery, many will need stress counseling. So we can see that mass casualties leave a trail of sorrow in the living. It is important to identify this and give the necessary support.